Hello, everyone. This is Turn One Scoop coming to you again to let you know we're going to be doing a box break today. We have our set booster from the Brothers War, and we are going to open up some of the tournament packs that we won during the pre release as well. So, we're going to add all that. So, let's go ahead and get this over with. So, did you play the Brothers War during the pre-release? If you have not, I think you can still go to Arena and try to play it on the Arena, so that way you can enjoy the same thing as I did back when we did the pre-release. So here you are. We have a dragon right there, Urza and Mishra. Then let's bring out these packs. So 10 packs each, 30 for total. And let's go ahead and break these things, shall we? So what are we looking for? Well, we're trying to look for some rare cards, anything that's mythic. Probably Urza and Mishra, the meld cards would be nice. So let's dive right in. We'll have 4 parts for this video because I'm going to be splitting them up depending on the amount. All right, let's go ahead and view that. Right there. All right, we have Titania. All right, too close. Let's go ahead and do this one. So we have a Plains, Sibling Rivalry, Bitter Reunion. We have Taunos Tinkering, Goblin Firebomb, Goblin Blast Runner. We also have Top Tier Architect, and then Arms Race and Recruitment Officer. And we have a sketch art, Door to Nothingness. There you go. First rare. And first mythic, In the Trenches. It's a 3 mana. Creatures you control get +1/+1. And then pay 6 with a white. Exile target non-land permanent you don't control until the end of Trenches. Leave the battlefield. Activate only once and as a sorcery. And then we have our foil Ambush Paratrooper. Power Stone. Okay, we have the sketch art for Ivory Tower. And we have a basic swamp. We have Overwhelming Remorse. Stern Lesson. Tukashian Dig Site. Calamity's Wake. Lay Down Arms. Gruesome Realization. Yoshin Dissident. Mass Production. Jalum Tome. And then another mythic, which is One with the Multiverse. For 8 mana, you may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a spell from your hand or the top of your library without paying its mana cost. Pretty good. And we have Springleaf Drum foil and the sketch art. Nice. Signature series. Okay. This is a Foundry. All right, we got Basic Mountain, Tukasha Onulet. We have Wasteful Harvest, Unleash Shell, Excavation Explosion, Energy Refractor. We have Splitting the Power Stone. We have Take Flight, Corrupt, and the Sketch Art Foundry Inspector. And Llanowar Waste for our rare land. And we have a foil Gitaxian Puppeteer. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. When Grixis Puppeteer dies, return another target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And then we have Mishra's Helix. This is from Exodus. X and tap X lands. Control-y. We have a bug, Basic Island. We have Airlift Champlain, Ravenous Gigamole. We have Dwarven Forge Enchanter, Demolition Field, Dream of Steel and Oil, and Evangel of Synthesis. We have Disciple of Grix, and then Woodland Caller Automation. It's a 10 mana that you can prototype for 4, and then it's a 3/3. When Woodland Automaton enters the battlefield, if you cast it, untap target land you control, it becomes a 3/4 creature with haste and base power and toughness equal to Wood Color Automaton's power and toughness. It's still a land. Alright. We have our classic Omnitopter. And then Lauren of the Third Path. It's a 3 mana white legendary creature. Vigilance. When Lauren of the Third Path enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment, and then you and target opponent each draw a card. Not bad. We have a Branchwood Prowler foil. And then Wake of Destruction. It's a list card, 6 mana, destroy target land and all lands with the same name as that land. Wow. Where? Oh boy. Alright. Plains and Pendragon Springbolt. Machine over Matter. We have Power Stone Fracture. Prison Sentence. We have Ashnode Intervention. And then Transmogrant Altar. We have Skyfisher Spider. And then Gnawing Vermin. And Ichor Wellspring. And Harbin Vanguard Aviator. It's a white and blue legendary creature, human soldier with flying. Whenever you attack with 5 or more soldiers, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain flying until end of turn. Not bad. That's pretty cool. We have Argreaven Avenger, which is a foil and a token card. Foil Mishra and a mountain. We have Boulder Branch Golem, Disenchant, Power Plant Worker. We have Evolving Wilds, Junkyard Genius. We have Arbalest Engineer and Battery Bearer. We have Quicksilver Amulet, which is a 4 mana colorless, tap for 4, and then you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. We have Elsewhere Flask. We have Hajar, Loyal Bodyguard, red and green. Legendary creature, sacrifice Hajar, Loyal Bodyguard. Legendary creatures you control get +1/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. World Warlord Elite foil. And we have Urza, regular swamp, Mine Worker, Tower Worker, Burrow Razor Maw, Trench Stalker. We also have a Coastal Bulwark, Sarient Steel Seeker, Great Desert Prospector, Horned Stone Seeker, and then Sigil of Valor, which was originally a rare and then downgraded to uncommon. And then Feldon Ronom Excavator. It's a 1 in a red legendary creature, haste. Feldon Ronom Excavator can't block. Whenever Feldon is dealt damage, exile that many cards from the top of your library and then choose one of them. Until end of your next turn, you may play that card. We have a Coilless Rock foil and token. We have Island, Scrapwork Mutt, Scrapwork Cohort, all the Scrapwork, and another Scrapwork Rager, and then Fall of Krug. We have Go for the Throat, which is another reprint, Obstinate Ballot, which is another downgrade from rare to uncommon, Fallaji Excavator, Urza Powerstone Prodigy, and then Unwinding Clock, 4 mana. Untap all artifacts you control during each other player's untap step. We have Tokasia Digsite Mentor for green, white, and blue. Human Artificer. Creatures you control have Vigilance and tap Surveil 1. And then if I pay for 8 mana with 2 colorless, 2 green, 2 whites, and 2 blues, exile Tokasia Digsite Mentor from your graveyard, and then return any number of target artifact cards with total mana value 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. We have Flow of Knowledge on foil. And Soldier, a foil mountain. We have Carrion Locust, a Blanchwood Prowler, Retrieval Agent. We have Giant Growth, another reprint, Argivian Avenger. We have Reconstructed Topter, Mishra Excavation Prodigy, Foundry Inspector, and Bonesaw, which is a sketch art, and Legions to Ashes. It's a 3 mana sorcery. Exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls and all tokens that player controls with the same name as that permanent. Take away all the Power Stones. Alright, Obliterating Bolt, which is also a foil. Not bad. And Power Stone token. We have a sketch art, Mountain Regular, Recommission. We have Tomako Scrapsmith and Emergency Weld. We have Phalanx Vanguard, Sardian Cliff Thumper, Symmetry Matrix, Mishra's Research Desk, and Lauren, Disciple of History. It's a 4 mana uncommon. And a Staff of Domination sketch art. It's a 3 mana with abilities of pay 1, untap Staff of Domination, pay 2, tap, you gain 1 life, pay 3, tap, untap target creature, pay 4, tap target creature, and then pay 5, tap, draw a card. And we have Urza, Lord Protector. Artifact, instants, and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. For this is a 3 mana creature. And then for 7, if you both own the and control Urza, Lord Protector, and an artifact named the Mightstone and Weakstone, exile them, then meld them into Urza Planeswalker. Activate only as a sorcery. So here's what's behind it. Urza Planeswalker. And we have Goblin Blast Runner foil. And we have a Ravage, which is a token for the Transformers, legendary artifact creature. It is a robot with menace and death touch. Transformers. And there you go. That is the first 10 packs that we opened. We did open up some mythics. I think we had 4. Just to recap. Yep. So just stick around and we'll get on to the next video. Okay, everyone, here we are, round 2. This is the second pile of cards that we will be opening up. We have the Helm of the Host, Plains, Coilless Rock. We have Shoot Down, Rock Hunter. We have Lay Down Arms, Gruesome Realization, a Demolition Field. We have Su-Chi Cave Guard, and Hulking Metamorph. We have Self-Assembler, and Painful Quandary, which is a 5 mana. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, that player loses 5 life unless they discard a card. We have foil Epic Confrontation and a Power Stone token. Foil Swamp, Scatter Ray. We have Weakstone Subjugation, Aeronaut's Wings, Aeronaut Cavalry. We have Wing Commando. We have Heavywright Demolisher and Cradle Clearcutter. We have Combat Crusher, and we have Precursor Golem, which is 5 mana artifact creature golem. When enters the battlefield, create 2 3/3 colorless golem artifact creature tokens, and then whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell that targets only a single golem, that player copies that spell for each other golem that spell would target. Each copy targets a different one of those golem. So if you play Precursor Golem on Arena, it has a bug. You can't, if you target a golem and another creature that for a fight, it will not trigger for all the golems. I feel that it's a bug. Alright, Transmogrant Crown is a 2 mana artifact equipment. We had equipped creature gets +2/+0. Whenever equipped creature dies, draw a card. Equip either with a 2 colorless or a black. And then we have Raise to the Ground foil and Archway Angel, which is a uncommon list card. We have Foundry, Foil Island. We have Mishra's Juggernaut, Deadly Riposte, Argothian Sprite, Swift Gear Drake, Iron Claw Crusher. We have Falaji Dungeon Engine, Gurgling Anointer. What the heck? The Archimandrite. It's a 2 blue, red, and white. Human Advisor. This is a commander card. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain X life, where X is the number of cards in your hand minus 4. So it has a built-in ivory tower. Whenever you gain life, each advisor, artificer, and monk you control gains vigilance and gets X plus 0 until end of turn, where X is the amount of life you gained. And then tap 3, untap advisor, artificer, and or monk you control and to draw a card. That's a weird one. Springleaf Drum. And then Mechanized Warfare, so 3 mana red enchantment. If a red or artifact source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus 1 instead. Cradle Clear Cutter, which is a foil, and a blank token. Tokasha's Mountain, Urza's Rebuff. We have Goring Warplow, Mishra's Onslaught. We also have Fall of Krug, Spotter Topter, Topter Mechanic, Topter Architect, and we have a full art Battlefield Forge, which is a tap to add a colorless or tap add red or white Battlefield Forge, deals 1 damage to you. We have Burnished Heart. We have Over the Top, which is a 7 mana for red. Each player reveals a number of card from the top of their library equal to the number of non-land permanents they control. Put all permanent cards they revealed this way into the battlefield and put the rest into their graveyard. And foil Disenchant. Alright, we have Defense Matrix, Swamp, Disfigure. We have Blitz Automaton and Clay Revenant, Town of Stinkering, Goblin Firebomb, Arms Race. We have Recruitment Officer, Yoshan Dissident, and another Staff of Domination. Thumbs up. Ding ding. Two of them. And a Phyrexian Flesh Gorger, which is a 7 mana Phyrexian Worm, Mythic, prototype of 3, 2 black and 1 white, or 1 colorless to make it a 3/3, or pay full 7 to get a Menace Lifelink Ward, pay life equal to Phyrexian Flesh Gorger's power, 7/5. Nice. And then we have a Killzone Acrobat, which is a foil. And we have Laserbeak Transformers. It has, so Laserbeak has flying and hexproof and is perched onto a basketball ring. We have Token. We have a Plains, Epic Confrontation, Sibling Rivalry, Bitter Reunion, Goblin Blast Runner, Mass Production, Splitting the Power Stone, Take Flight, Scrap Trawler is a 3 mana construct. Whenever Scrap Trawler or another artifact you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, return to your hand target artifact card in your graveyard with lesser mana value. Chromatic Star, sketch art. We have Titania's Command, which is a 6 mana, 2 greens. Choose 2. Exile target player's graveyard. You gain 1 land for each card exiled this way. Search your library for up to 2 land cards. Put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. It doesn't have to be basic, so any land. And then create 2 green bear creature tokens. And then put 2 1/1 counter on each creature you control. And then we have a Mine Worker, foil, and another token. We have a Mountain, Overwhelming Remorse, Stern Lesson, We have Takasha Dig Site, Unleash Shell, Corrupt, Dream of Steel and Oil, Evangel Synthesis. We have Terror Ballista, which is a 7-mana menace construct. Whenever Terror Ballista attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, destroy target creature and opponent controls. Ooh. And then it has an Earth for 5 mana. Ancestral Cornucopia, it's an XXX. When it enters the battlefield with X charge counters on it, and then choose a color, add 1 mana of the color of each charge counter on Astral Cornucopia. Sky Strike Officer, which is a 3 mana human soldier flying 2/3. Whenever Sky Strike Officer attacks, create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token. Tap 3 untap soldiers you control to draw a card. We have Arbalest Engineer, which is a foil, and a spirit token of Teferi. What do you call this? Chromatic Lantern. Basic Forest. And then Takasha's Onulet. We have Wasteful Harvest, Airlift Chaplain. We have Excavation Explosion, Disciple of Grix, Transmogrant Altar. We get Skyfisher Spider, and Mishra with it's a commander card. 2 blue, red, and black. It's a human artificer. At the beginning of combat of your turn, create a token that's a copy of target non-creature, non-artifact you control. Non-creature artifact you control, except its name is Mishra's Warform, and it's a 4/4 construct artifact creature. In addition to its other type, it gains haste until end of turn, and then sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. And this is the old frame from Magic. Icor Wellspring, and then Fortified Beachhead, which is a land. As Fortified Beachhead enters the battlefield, you may reveal a soldier card from your hand, and then Fortified Beachhead enters the battlefield tapped unless you revealed a soldier card this way, or you control the soldier. Tap to add white and blue, and then pay 3, tap soldiers you control get XX, or gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Nice. Hercule's Final Meditations, a foil 7 mana instant. As long as it's not your turn, this spell costs 3 more to cast. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hand and end the turn. Nice. And Dash Hopes from Future Sight. This is a list card. Whenever you play Dash Hopes, any player may pay 5 life. If a player does, counter Dash Hopes. And then what does it do? Counter target spell for black. Helm of the Host, regular plane, Ravenous Gigamole. We have Dwarven Forge Channeler, Pentagron Strongbow, Go for the Throat, Obstinate Ballad, Sardian Cliff Stomper, Gnawing Vermin. We have Junkyard Genius, Millstone, Takasha's Welcome. It's a 3 mana enchantment. Whenever one or more creature with mana value 3 or less enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. We have Slagstone Refinery for 4 mana. Whenever Slagstone Refinery or another non-token permanent or non-token artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield or is put into exile from the battlefield, create a tapped Power Stone token. Mishra's Factory. This is a list card. but I believe we have Mishra's Factory from this set as well as the um, box. Yeah. So from the uncommon from Mishra's Factory back then, it turned into a rare. So what it does is add 1 mana. Mishra's Factory becomes a 2/2 assembly worker artifact creature until end of turn. It's still a land, and then target assembly worker creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Oh, so this is Mishra's Foundry. This is Mishra's Factory. So they're entirely different. That is my mistake. Mishra's Foundry, add 1. Tap to add 1 colorless. Pay 2. Mishra's Foundry becomes a 2/2 assembly worker artifact creature until end of turn. It's still a land. And then for 1 tap, target attacking assembly worker gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So that is the difference between the two. Alright, last. We only had 1 mythic during that time. For the second batch, a Foil Mountain, Machine Over Matter, Boulder Branch Golem, Energy Refractor, Power Stone Fracture, Prison Sentence, and then we have Arbalest Engineer, Battery Bearer, we have Saret Steel Seeker, Chromatic Star, Stasis Coffin. It's a 3 mana legendary artifact with pay 2 to tap. Exile the Stasis Coffin. You gain protection from everything until end of turn. We have Great Deserter Prospector foil and a Topter token. Alright, that is all for the second batch, and we just had 1 more Staff of Domination that we opened up as part of the Mythic. So hold on for the third one, and we'll open them up shortly. Alright folks, here we are. We're going to open up our third batch. And let's see if we get something good. Alright, here we go. Urza's Forest. Veterans Powerblade. Warlord Elite. Conscripted Infantry. Tomical Honor Guard. Hero of Dunes. Thrawn Vigil. We have Meticulous Excavation. Rune Chanter Spike. Equip creature with first strike and gets X+0, where X is the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Equip 2. Phyrexian Revoker. It's a 2 mana artifact Phyrexian Horror. As Phyrexian Revoker enters the battlefield, choose a non-land card name and then activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated. Ooh, Platoon Dispenser. It's a 5 mana mythic artifact construct. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more other creatures, draw a card. And then pay 3 and a white. Create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token with Unearth for 4/6. We have Gix Caress foil. And a token of Saheeli, Filigree Master. Emblem of artifact creatures you control get +1/+1, and then artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Alrighty, here we go. Plane. Supply Drop. Combat Courier. Depth Charger Colossus. Rust Goliath. Dredging Claw. We have Giant Cindermaw. Flow of Knowledge. Mask of Jade Crafter. Ivory Tower. Sketch art. No, just regular art. Battlefield Forge, another one. Wing Commando foil. And another token. Blackblade, sketch art. Regular Forest, Yotian Medic. Air Marshal, Whirling Strike, Gix's Skull Flayer, Alloy Animist. We got Thrawn Power Suit, Audacity, and we have Mishra, full art, 3 and black and red. Permanents you control have Ward, sacrifice a permanent, and then each artifact card in your graveyard has Unearth for 1 colorless, black and red. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Pretty dope. Mishra's Bubble, Underground River, which is a rare tap to produce a colorless, and then or add a blue or black. Underground River deals 1 damage to you. We have Lawrence Escape foil, and we have a token, zombie token. That's an artifact zombie. Interesting. Mishra foil planes, Falaji Chain Dancer, Grix Caress, Gnarlwood Pallbearer, Gaia's Gift, Gaia's Courser, Steel Exemplar. So Steel Exemplar, when it has trample. Whenever Steel Exemplars enter the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it, unless 2 or more colors of mana were spent to cast it. It doesn't work in Arena. Spectrum Sentinel. We have Blanchwood Armor, Soul Guide Lantern. We have Phyrexian Dragon Engine, which is a 3 mana. Has double strike. When Phyrexian Dragon Engine enters the battlefield from your graveyard, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 3 cards. And it has Unearth for 5. What does it do in the back? It has Phyrexian Artificer. Whenever Mishra lost to Phyrexia enters the battlefield or attacks, choose 3. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Mishra deals 3 damage to any target. Destroy target artifact or planeswalker. Creatures you control gain menace and trample until end of turn. Or creatures you don't control get -1/-1 until end of turn. And the last choice is create 2 tapped Power Stone tokens. And it says whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you choose 3. So, woo, big one. And Blanchwood Armor foil. Soldier token. Island foil. We have Military Disciple. We have Perimeter Patrol. Falaji Archaeologist. We have Moment of Defiance. Bushwhack. Levitating Stone or Statue. Monastery Swift Spear. Ooh, Altar of Dementia is a 2 mana. Sacrifice a creature. Target player mills cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power. Swiftfoot Boots. It's a 2 mana artifact creature. Artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets hexproof and haste. Equip 1. And we have Saheeli, Filigree Master for 4. Planeswalker. Scry 1. You may tap an untapped artifact you control. If you do, draw a card. And then create -2 is create 2/1/1 colorless Topter artifact creature token with flying. They gain haste until end of turn. And then -4, you get an emblem with artifact creatures you control get +1/+1, and artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. First Mythic and first Planeswalker. Gaia's Gift for foil, and then Yotian Soldier. Well, we got a Planeswalker. This is a Fire Action Dragon, I think. Island. Curate. Killzone Acrobat. We have Hoarding Recluse. Argothian Opportunist. Repair and Recharge. Ashnode Harvester. Keeper of Cadence. Obliterating Bolt. We have Liquid Metal Coating. Queen Kyla Bin Krug. 1 colorless, 3 in red and a white. Pay 4 to tap, discard all the cards in your hand, then draw that many cards. You may choose an artifact or creature card with mana value 1 you discarded this way. Then do the same for artifact and creature card with mana value 2 and 3. Return those cards to the battlefield, activate only as a sorcery. We have Chromatic Star, Sketch Art, and Foil. Mountain, Latnam Adept, Traxodemon, Stone Retrieval Unit, Mightstone Animation. We have No One Left Behind, Haywire Might. We have Involuntary Cooldown, Yoshan Frontliner, Mishra's Bubble, Sketch Art, Autonomous Assembler. It's a 5 mana artifact creature with prototype of 2. It has Vigilance and pay 1, tap, put a 1/1 counter on target assembly worker you control. We have Yoshan Tactician, which is a foil. Other soldiers you control get +1/+1. We have Cloud Dragon. This is a 6 mana from Portals. List card, flying. Cloud Dragon can intercept only creatures with flying. Millstone, regular. Union of the Third Path, Desynchronization, Power Stone Engineer, Survivor of Corliss, Third Path Iconoclast, Falaji Vanguard, Yoshan Tactician, Well of Lost Dreams. Pay for 4. Whenever you gain life, you may pay X, where X is less than or equal to the amount of life you gained. If you do, draw X cards. Pristine Talisman, and then Mishra's Foundry. We have Simian Simulacrum. It's a 3 mana. When Simian Simulacrum enters the battlefield, you put 2 1/1 counter on target creature you control, and then Unearth for 4. Swamp, Fog of War, Citadel Stalwart, Raise the Ground, Defabrication, Zephyr Sentinel, Battlefield Butcher, Static Net, Black Blade Reforged. It's a 2 mana legendary equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each land you control. Equipped to a legendary creature for 3 or equipped for 7. Bonesaw, Taunos the Toymaker for 3 and green and blue. Whenever you cast a beast or bird creature spell, you may copy it, except the copy is an artifact in addition to its other type. Curate Foil, Blank Token. Alright, here we go. We have a Keeling Stone, Island, Lawrence Escape, Gixin Infiltrator, Third Path Savant, Ambush Paratrooper. We have Slagstone Refinery, Forging the Anchor, Calamity's Wake, Pyric Blast, Goblin Charbelcher, which is a 4 mana. Tap 3, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a land card. Goblin Charbelcher deals damage equal to the number of non-land cards revealed this way to any target. If the revealed card was a mountain, Goblin Charbelcher deals double that damage instead. Put the revealed cards on the bottom of your library in any order. And then Fateful Handoff for 4 mana. Draw cards equal to the mana value of target artifact or creature you control. An opponent gains control of that permanent. Ravenous Gigamole for foil. And then list card Imp's Taunt, buyback for 3. It costs 2 to begin with. And then target creature attacks this turn if able. And there you have it. Those are all the cards that we got from the box. And now let's go on to opening our final batch that came as our winnings during the tournament. Okay, here we go. These are what we got for winning. That's a token of Gix, Foil Swamp, Fog of War, Gix Caress, Gnarlwood Pallbearer, we have Gaia's Gift, Lay Down Arms, we have Gruesome Realization, Demolition Field, Third Path Iconoclast, Springleaf Drum, Hercule's Final Meditation, and Foil Blanchwood. Forsaken City from Planechase. Forsaken City doesn't untap during your untap step. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may remove a card from your hand from the game. If you do, untap Forsaken City. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Wow, interesting. Regular Plains. Gixin Infiltrator, Third Path Savant, Scatter Ray, Sardian Cliff Stomper, we have Gaia's Courser, Steel Exemplar, Pyric Blast, Suchi Cave Guard, we have Liquid Metal Coating, and we have Blade Coil Serpent, X and 6 Mythic. When Blade Coil Serpent enters the battlefield, for each 2 blue spent to cast it, draw a card. If you spent 2 black to cast it, each opponent discards a card. And then if you paid 2 red to cast it, it gets +1, +0, and gains trample and haste until end of turn. Oh hey, look, another mythic. We have Saheeli, Filigree Master. We know her, and it's foil too. Look at that, how nice. That's 2 mythic already in a pack, in 1 pack, so not bad. Regular Forest, we have Mishra's Domination, Weak Stone Subjugation, Mishra's Juggernaut, Traxodemon, we have Hulking Metamorph, Heavyweight Demolisher, Cradle Clearcutter, Jodum Tomb, Icor Wellspring, Ashnod Flesh Mechanist is a 1 black mana Death Touch. Whenever Ashnod Flesh Machinist, or Mechanist actually, attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, create a tapped Power Stone token. Pay 5, exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a tapped 3/3 colorless zombie artifact creature token. Airlift Chaplain, foil, and Power Stone token. Gix Mountain, Deadly Argothian Sprite, Urza's Rebuff, Survivor of Corliss, Battery Bearer, Sarnet Seeker, Great Desert Prospector. We have our first Transformer, It's Sliced Hired Muscle for 5. It's a mythic. More than meets the eye. Pay 3. And you may convert to... okay, so it's double strike, haste. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you may have that player gain control of Slicer until end of turn. If you do, untap Slicer, goad it, and it can't be sacrificed this turn. If you don't, convert. So it converts into Slicer, high speed antagonist. Living Metal. As long as it's your turn, this vehicle is also a creature. So it's a first strike haste. Whenever Slicer deals combat damage to a player, convert it at end of combat. So it starts as a 3/4, double strike and haste. So my opponent can gain control of this one. Sometimes I have to understand what that does. Okay, Ichor Wellspring. Legion to Ashes. And we have Desynchronized Foil, Power Stone token. Warlord Elite, Conscripted Infantry, Supply Drop, Rust Goliath, Haywire Mart, Static Net, Fyric Blast, Suchi Cave Guard, and then Mishra's Bubble, Taunus Toymaker, and then Excavation Explosion Foil. Jodah Avenger for 6, 0 until end of turn. Jodah's Avenger gets -1/-1 and gains your choice of double strike, protection from red, vigilance, or shadow. It's a list card. It came from Time Spiral. Swamp, Combat Courier, Ocean Medic, Air Marshal, Dredging Claw, Hulking Metamorph, Heavyweight Demolisher, Cradle Clear Cutter. We have Adaptive Automaton for 3. As Adaptive Automaton enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Adaptive Automaton is the chosen type in addition to its other types. Other creatures you control of the chosen type gets +1/+1. Liquid Metal Coating. Urza Silex, another mythic. So that's 3 mythics. Pay 3 mana. Comes into play. Activate for 2 and 2 whites. Exile Urza Silex. Each player choose 6 land they control, and then destroy all other permanents. Activate only as a sorcery. When Urza Silex is put into exile from your battlefield, you may pay 2. If you do, search your library for a Planeswalker card. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Potential. Taunus Tinkering, Foil, and then Krenko, the Tin Street Kingpin for 3. List card, Legendary Goblin. Whenever Krenko Tin Street Kingpin attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it, then create a number of 1/1 red goblin creature token equal to Krenko's power. Foil Island, Coilless Rock, Shoot Down, Rock Hunter, Defabricate. We have Slagstone Refinery, Forging the Anchor, Heavyweight Demolisher, Cradle Clear Cutter, Bone Saw, and Kayla's Reconstruction for X and 3 white. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put up to X artifact and or creature cards with converted mana cost 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. We have Blanchwood Prowler, foil, and a soldier token. Island, Yoshin, or Gratian Sprite, Urza's Rebuff, Goring Warplow, Calamity Wake, Lay Down Arms, Gruesome Realization, Symmetry Matrix, Mishra's Research Desk, Keening Stone 6, and then pay 5, tap. Target player mills X cards, where X is the number of cards in that player's graveyard. And Mightstone and Meekstone, 5 legendary power stone. When this Mightstone and Meekstone enters the battlefield, choose 1, draw 2 cards, or target creature gets -5. And then tap to add 2 colorless mana. This can be spent to cast non-creature spells. And turns to the back, becomes Urza. So we have a complete meld from one of the packs that we opened. Let's go ahead and find Urza. There you go. And there you have it. Urza, Planeswalker. The complete version. You may activate the loyalty abilities of Urza Planeswalker twice each turn rather than once. And then +2 artifact, instant and sorcery spells you cast this turn cost 2 less to activate, you gain 2 life. +1, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. 0, create 2 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens. And then -3, exile target non-land permanent. And then -10, artifacts and planeswalkers you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Destroy all non-land permanents. So these are the combo to meld. We have Goblin Blast Runner, foil. And for the last card, so we have 1 meld. We didn't get the Urza meld, or the Mishra meld, but we got the Urza. Brain Tome, I think. Plains, and then we have Falaji Channel, Dredging Claw, we have Grixian Skullflayer, Grix Caress, Ashnod Harvester, Keeper of Cadence, No One Left Behind, Thran Power Suit, Burnished Heart, we have Transmogrant Crown, and we have Mishra Excavation Prodigy foil. And so there you have it. Those are all the cards, the booster set booster cards that we were able to get throughout the weekend of pre-release and the winnings from that day. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed looking at new cards that we opened up, and hopefully we can make something out of this pile of cards. So until then, Scoopers, thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe if you like what you've seen. And as always, thank you very much and appreciate your thumbs up.